Welcome back, guys. What is going on? Welcome to the Yeti Express DFS podcast, presented to you by Draft Dashboard. As always, you can try out the tools that I use in this video 30 days for $1 by clicking my link in the description below. Finally figured out how to get my face on the screen as well, so I included that. Let me know if that is better. I don't know how many people care about stuff like that, but just wanted to try it out for today anyways. Here is a look at the cheat sheet for today. I usually give out the cheat sheet to all of the people that are part of my channel when I make a video. Remember, you can get all this stuff on your screen 30 days for $1 by clicking my link in the description below. So there is the cheat sheet. Just wanted to say a special rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. Really tragic. Him and his daughter, Gianna, just 13 years old, and all the baseball players and the baseball family that was involved in that devastating helicopter crash. We lost some good people, and it was a tragedy. Anytime something like that happens, I just can't imagine your last moments of life, knowing that you're gonna go down. Just kind of tragic, and it gets magnified when we have celebrities that people are connected to. This could happen to anybody. There was also 30 Marines killed in Iraq yesterday in another helicopter crash. So I just want to say a special rest in peace to all the members of the community and that were lost in helicopter crashes yesterday. We'll get into our DFS picks today. I'll do a special cover photo today of Kobe and Gianna today. So here is my watched players tab. This is kind of what I'm looking at for today's slate. First up, we have Andre Drummond, 35% projected ownership, going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Drummond historically plays really well against Cleveland. Cleveland struggles against Drummond in particular, but in the center position, they rank 18th. Team defense of 28. I think Drummond's in a pretty good spot here. So I wanted to grab him. He's not my highest pay up option of the day. I'll get to that later on in the video. Next up, I have Joe Ingles, 20% projected ownership, 5,400, going up against the Houston Rockets. Jingles isn't much of an exciting player. He just does a little bit of everything. I would say he doesn't do anything well, but he does nothing bad. Can kind of fill it up a little bit. He can get you 30. He's got about a ceiling of about 35 and a floor of about 25. So he's kind of a safe play, kind of one that just gets you by. So I went to him in a good matchup against Houston Rockets, who are dead last against the position in the NBA and 24th in team total defense. So the Houston Rockets are going to be without Russell Westbrook today and likely without James Harden. So there is a little bit of value to be found there, and we'll talk about that in just a second. Next up, I have DeLon Wright. Since Powell's gone down with his injury, Wright's been playing 31 minutes in the last two games. I think he's a beneficiary of that, just because they kind of have to downswing everything. Like, you see that you get guys like Justin Jackson playing a little bit at the 4, but they're very short-handed unless Boban plays again. It's hard to predict when he plays. He plays seems like every third game, which would make me think that he might be due to play today, but his conditioning is really hard to kind of talk about, because he only plays 20 minutes every third day. So, but he's pretty dominant when he does play. But I went with DeLon Wright. OKC is 17th against the position. They have a pretty good defense at 7th overall, though. if some other value pops open, I'll probably get off a guy like DeLon Wright. But for now, I think that's where I want to start. Next up, I have DeJounte Murray, 9% projected ownership, going up against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls, number 1 against the point guard position, 15th overall in team total defense. However, DeJounte Murray is just too cheap. As you can see, his value here is a 5.8. 5.8 is a pretty strong projection for a value perspective. So I kind of went with a little bit of a stars and scrubs lineup today. Next up, I have Austin Rivers, 56% projected ownership. I really wanted to attack Houston with what I would presume would be some value, but you have Ben McLemore that is 5,800. That's just too much for me. Eric Gordon is 6,900, way too much for me. I wanted to get to those guys, but DraftKings did a good job at pricing them up. The only one that they missed out on was Austin Rivers. Last 3 games out, he's had 20 or better. I think he'll easily get you into 25 to 30 today. He's just an exceptional value at 3,600. I would be playing him absolutely everywhere. Next up, I have Thaddeus Young, another guy with some really good value. We know that Lauri Markkanen is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, so that makes Thaddeus Young a starter. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He's a solid player who can fill up the stat sheet a little bit. If he scores more north of 10 points, he'll have a good game because he does get rebounds, assists, and steals. Not too many blocks, but he finds a way to get at least 3 steals. It seems like almost every time he gets minutes. So I was interested in Thaddeus Young today. Spurs are 22nd against the power forward position, 20th in team total defense. Nice price tag on him, so I like him. Next up, I have LaMarcus Aldridge, 35% projected ownership. He's only 7,200, and that's kind of the reason why I'm rostering him. He's just too cheap. The Chicago Bulls also really struggle against the power forward and center position, dead last in the NBA. 15th overall in team total defense, though. Last but not least, many of you guys that have been a part of the channel know that I am a Timberwolves fan. So I might be biased in playing Towns today, but he does have 26% projected ownership. Not the greatest matchup in the world. I just think he's underpriced. Sacramento is going to be trying to defend him with guys like Dwayne Dedmon and Harry Giles, and he's just too athletic and long, and he can shoot, so he's going to really stretch the floor with those guys running after him. I think Karl Anthony Towns has a pretty big game today. 10-3 for Towns. So we put that into the lineup optimizer. So here's the lineup optimizer. It kind of spits out exactly what I have in here. I had Jingles here, and then I had Rivers here. Where is he? Here we go. So here's my lineup for today, barring other news. Like if we get some value that opens up, I'll probably get off of a guy like DeLon Wright. But for now, that's kind of what I am looking at. Just playing a single entry today, and then probably the big tournament. So there's that. FanDuel. I haven't looked at FanDuel, but I will be playing over there today. Obviously, a guy like Austin Rivers is in a pretty good spot. Just kind of like to go through and look at who I think is underpriced. De'Aaron Fox looks pretty underpriced over here. And you can kind of tell some of that stuff when you look at the ownership projections. So like Aldridge is getting 30% ownership. Obviously, you want to set yourself away and take a chance on some people. Like for me, I think I would take a shot on Bojan Bogdanovic, even though he's very scoring dependent. It's kind of a guy that I like to take a look at. I think over here, Towns and Drummond, there's a difference, so I'll probably take Towns. I like him a little bit more today. This gives us 2,300 to play with over here. I really like what Schroeder's been doing lately. Healed against my Timberwolves, who don't play defense. You go Fox and Healed. Something like this over on FanDuel. Austin Rivers, De'Aaron Fox. I don't know if I want Wiggins right now. Get up from maybe Bogdanovich. Get up to... There's not a lot to like over here. Go with a guy like B Jelly. Anyways, you could play with it over here a little bit more. Get up from Schroeder. I kind of like Schroeder today. Something like this on FanDuel, leave 600 on the board. Obviously, I have to play with it a little bit more than I am right now. But something similar to this. Definitely want LaMarcus Aldridge over here and De'Aaron Fox. Probably Towns for me. Then you can play with some of the value as it opens up a little bit more throughout the day. Anyways, thanks for being a part of the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed having me on screen for the first time. I kind of enjoyed it. It was kind of cool. Make sure you guys leave a thumbs up on your way out. That always helps me out. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. I always appreciate new members and new people that are part of the channel. So thank you for being here. Hit that subscribe button if you're new and you enjoyed it. We put out DFS content in MLB, NBA, and NHL. I don't usually make videos for, but I play it. So if you have questions, you can ask me about it. You can also follow me on Twitter at YetiExpress2. That's at YetiExpress and the number 2. One more thing before we go. You can try out everything that I used on this screen. Get the cheat sheet, mass lineup generator, all this stuff. 30 days for $1 comes with ownership. All that stuff is projected, but it's pretty accurate. So thanks for being a part, and good luck today, and let's win-win.